evening. So this afternoon, I took some time to just go through my records, my company records, just to see my expenditure reports, just to see my income and how I am doing, because I had a goal for the year. I had an idea of how I wanted my company to look like by the time I get to December. So now I am just going through to just see how I'm doing. But then I have seen a problem with a lot of people. All right. So for those of you that do not know, first of all, I run a microfinance company, that is a loan company, and we do other financial services like business coaching, personal finance coaching. We run investments for people. So for those of you that might want to know more about our services, I think I have them listed on my cover photo. You can simply check it out, then you can get in touch with us. Okay, so back to the issue. I have seen a problem with a lot of people. I have observed that most of my clients, or rather most of the people, borrow money in the third and fourth week of the month and not the first. All right, we do not have so many people in the first week, we do not have so many people in the second week, but then we have a lot. Most of our clients are in the third week and the fourth week. So I couldn't help but ask why. All right, but then I have observed that there's a problem, of which I am about to share the problem with you and try to give a solution. But disclaimer, the solution that I will give here is sort of general. It's a general solution that might not cater to your personal problem. So if you've got personal finance problems, then they may need a personal solution, if you know what I mean, because every circumstance is different and it needs unique, or rather personal solutions, right? So if you are that person that has got a problem, you're unable to manage your finance well, you are in debt, you are in all those things, you can just check out my cover photo, get in touch, and we'll be able to help you. Our services are very affordable because the goal is to help people, all right? So back to the issue again. I have observed that a lot of people borrow money in the third and fourth week. So what is the problem? The problem is that most people are unable to get to the end of the month with their salary. All right. So somebody gets paid, they pay for all their basic needs, they pay for their maybe school fees for the kids, they pay for their rent, they buy their groceries, and they pay back some debt, and the money is gone. But then they still need transportation to work, they still need, the emergencies that happen, they still need to cater for all those things. And because they do not have money, they have to borrow to cater for all that. And then in the second week, in the second month again, they get paid, and the cycle is the same. You spend, you remain with nothing, you borrow to cover for the rest of the month, you get paid, you have to pay back the money that you borrowed, and it becomes a cycle. And there's what I tell all my clients when they come for a loan, all right? I ask them what they want to do with the money. And if I've seen that it's not important, I try to advise them not to get a loan. For those of you that know, most people call me annoying because they tell me it's none of my business. Just give me the money. I want to go to this party. So long as I'll pay you back, the rest is none of your business. So who am I? But I try to advise people sometimes not to get a loan. So anyway, that's not the issue. So now, how can people avoid this cycle? Because if you are like me, you are obviously trying and fighting to attain financial freedom. But then if you keep living hand to mouth plus debt on top of that, you will not be able to attain your financial freedom. You find yourself at a retirement age, and by then you do not even have a house of your own. You do not even have money in the bank that can help you. You do not have a business that can help cater for your needs. You do not have passive income, passive income that can help pay for your expenses even when you're not working. So if you're not careful now, you can find yourself in such a situation. So what can you do now to ensure that you secure your future? Well, number one, if you are a person that is in huge debt, you might consider clearing your debt first, because what I'll say here might not apply to you if you are in so much debt, because it means you remain with nothing. So even if I tell you about investments and all those things, you're not able to, because you simply remain with no money because of debt. So you might consider clearing your debt first, then we can talk. But for those of you that are debt free, or rather your debt is quite manageable, then come here, let's talk about it. All right. So what can you do? Number one, you have to ensure that you come up with a side hustle. You have to use some of your money to start creating a side hustle. Because for some of you, it's not that you are financially irresponsible. You just genuinely do not have enough money. Your money is just genuinely not enough. There is nothing that you can reduce in your expenses. Even if we tell you to say, oh, reduce your expenses, there is nothing that you can reduce. Some of you are already living below your means. If we say reduce on rent, some of you are even being kept by parents. If we say reduce on the grocery, some of you have already reduced to a point that you do not even buy all the food that you need. So we can tell you about that. But maybe the fact is that you just do not have enough money. You just need to increase your income. So what do? Start thinking about a side hustle. And as I said, we do coaching. If you don't know what to go for or what business to invest in, simply get in touch and we'll be able to help you. You need a side hustle. The second thing that you can do, there's something that I did when I was working, all right, before I started school. I gave myself a mini salary, all right? So I had a salary that my boss was paying me, but then I was paying myself as well weekly. I divided my money by 4, and then after I removed my savings, because I was saving for my school, after I removed my savings, the money that was left, I could divide it by 4. And what I did was I could withdraw all the money, and then I put it in the envelope and I label it as week 1, week 2, week 3. So it means that on a Monday I get my envelope for week 1, and then I budget with that money. I make sure that everything I buy is within that money in the week 2, like that, until week 4. So I am not a person that could run broke by week 4, because I had an envelope ready for week 4. And then no matter what happened, I could not touch that money unless it's an emergency, and so on. But if not, I would not touch my money that is meant for week 2 or week 3. I could just leave it like that. If there's an issue, then it has to wait until the assigned week comes. So I could get paid while I still have my money for the last salary. And I wasn't even getting paid a lot. It was all just about discipline. I cut down on events, a lot of events. I cut down on dinners, on lunches and all those things, because I knew what I was going for and I knew what I wanted to achieve. I knew I really wanted to go to school. So I was really careful with my money. So I think that is a method that you can use. Assign your money, give yourself a mini salary of the money that you are getting paid. Give yourself a mini salary. In that salary, put out your savings, then the rest, assign it according to the week. For those of you that have been following me, I even talked about the 20, 30, and 50% rule. If you follow that, you will be able to reach your month end with some money in your pocket, and you will be able to avoid debt. So if you can avoid debt, by all means. But if you have to follow what I have talked about, you might consider clearing all your debt first. Remain with some change, then you might be able to invest. If your money is not just enough, consider starting a side hustle, all right? Because the inflation is high. Most people cannot just afford it. They cannot just afford to save. They cannot just afford to invest, because the money is not enough. So if the money is not enough, then you might consider getting yourself a side hustle. All right. If you don't have the time to do so, there are people that run investments on behalf of people. We do that. You might want to get in touch. Then we'll tell you more about this. You just put in the money, then you start to get the returns without having to work for your money. There are a lot of companies that do that out there nowadays. Not Magolite, not my scammers, genuine people. All right. So make sure you do that, and I hope this helps, all right? If not, if you have a personal problem, then get in touch with us. We'll be able to give you personal solutions according to your problem. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.